finished my round 8 of the Swedish championship and I am happy. Because yesterday was a disaster day. I lost 2 games in a row and it was just so difficult to get over that and it felt like the tournament was over. But today the comeback happened. The comeback has happened and I'm gonna tell you, I won a beautiful game and I'm very excited to show it to you. It was only like 35 moves, so it was very nice. So I was facing a strong opponent. His name was Johannes Lindvall, rated 2050, but he was doing a good tournament. And I had the black pieces. But for me, the most important thing was just to get a good result, because otherwise if I lost 3 in a row, I don't know how I would play my game tomorrow. So he went e4 and I went c5, and we played this, well, it became the Sicilian, and he went bishop b5, and this is a move that I knew he was gonna do. So I actually spent a little bit of time before the game preparing this, and I decided to play what Magnus Carlsen plays. Well, at least I saw many games where he plays this, and I thought if Magnus Carlsen plays this, then I should be able to play it. So I went here g6, and the idea is that after takes, I'm going to take with the d pawn. And the reason I'm doing this is because I wanted to prevent d4. So by having the queen here, you're kind of preventing d4. So he went d3 instead. I got my bishop out. He went h3 to prevent this bishop from going there. And now I ended up going b6. b6 is a move that I knew the engine liked because I'd seen it before the game. However, it looks a little bit slow, but the point is that the bishop cannot really go to e3 right now because this is hanging, and at some point I'm going to have to defend this pawn. So b6 is just like a nice move to have, and it's a little bit more flexible because if I go e5 now, then I'm allowing this bishop to come out immediately because then my bishop is not threatening this pawn. So I went b6, he went a4, I went a5, I got to stop this push. He went knight a3, and now I finally went e5. And the idea of e5 is just to really stop this d4 push. And of course, I'm also going to be getting my knight out, etc. So he went bishop e3, and I went queen c7, and now he did this really tricky move, queen d2, which I'd never seen before. And here the idea, well, he wanted to start like really attacking my king, but I hadn't seen this before, so I didn't really know exactly what was going on. But yeah, here apparently I should go h6 just to prevent him from being super annoying towards me, and then just go bishop e6 and get my knight out to e7. But I wanted to play the way Magnus plays, and I'd seen this idea of him of going knight f6, knight d7, knight f8, and all this kind of stuff, and so I wanted to do that too. But of course, his opponent in the game that I'd seen it hadn't played this, so my opponent was kind of tricking me here. So I went knight f6, and this is a bit of a mistake because I'm allowing him now to get into the dark squares. So here I started getting a little bit worried. He went knight c4, threatening this pawn, and here I should have gone rook e8. But I kind of thought it was going to become the same thing, like rook e8, knight d7, who cares, it'll be the same thing, I thought. But whenever you think that way, it never becomes the same thing. Also, I don't know if you're hearing the birds, but the birds in Jönköping, in this city, they're louder than anywhere else I've ever seen. Like the birds here, I got attacked by a bird yesterday when I was having lunch. Seagull ate my lunch. It was traumatizing. And now I'm hearing the birds everywhere. Like the birds here are crazy. Birds here are crazy. Okay, so I went knight d7. He took, and now when he went knight e3, I realized my mistake because this is a really strong move because he's threatening a lot of things. Like if I'm not careful, I could get checkmated in just a few moves. It may not look like it, but my king is in deep trouble right now. Like, for instance, let me just show you just something random so that you see what could happen. Let's say, for instance, I go h5. To begin with, he could potentially go knight f5 here, check, because after takes, queen g5, and this is going to become really scary after queen takes. Maybe this is a draw, maybe this is okay, but like, I don't want to draw. Like, I wanted to win today, so, you know, h5 is not a move that I can do. Knight g4 is the big threat. Like, if I do something random, like rook b8, you know, he can maybe go knight g4, which is quite scary. Now, if f6, then maybe queen h6 check, and h4, and like very quickly there's a huge attack going on my king, and my pieces are all kind of badly placed. So yeah, after this move knight e3, I was definitely very worried about the situation, but I went knight f6 at the end, which felt a bit sad to go back and forth because I thought that after this, I could just take, and take, but I missed that after queen g5, I cannot go h5. And this was the game. So now I once again started getting very worried because I thought, oh no, like how do I save this? But then I found the only move, a very important move, which is queen d7, defending this knight. And now the idea is that, sure, I'm sacrificing this pawn, although I just want a pawn too, so I'm not really sacrificing a pawn, it's just going to be equal. However, I am also now threatening to go h6 or f6, and as long as I can get rid of this queen, I'm not getting checkmated. So very important, of course, to prevent queen h6 and queen h7 checkmate. Those are the main ideas here. But he took on e5. My idea was that if he goes something like rook here to attack this knight, I can just go h5. And now my plan was that if rook takes, I can go f6, and now I'm winning the rook. So there were all kinds of ideas. But anyways, he went knight takes e5. I took, and went f6, threatening the queen. He went queen c3, which I wasn't expecting actually, but it makes sense because he wanted to keep these pawns protected. And now let me tell you something. This pawn right here is going to be the winner of this game. Like this pawn that looks completely stopped, it's going to be the winner of this game. It's going to go on a beautiful journey that is going to take him very far. So I went rook f7 now because I wanted to make sure that everything was defended. I also wanted to make sure that there were no points, any check if my king is here, where like I lose this pawn or something. So I went rook f7. He went king f1, which wasn't the move I was expecting because it just felt a bit weird. And now I went queen d4. And I actually was kind of expecting him to take. I thought maybe that's the best thing he can do. But I also felt like he didn't want to trade queens. And it felt like he really wanted to try to checkmate me. So, and after the terrible position I had before where I felt like I was getting checkmated, getting into an endgame against him just felt really nice. But he went queen b3, now threatening this pawn. And I went rook a7. The idea being that he's not just threatening this pawn, but he's also threatening to go rook takes h7. Like let's say I do something random, I don't know. He's also threatening to go rook takes h7, and this would now be losing for me after queen takes h7. And now you can just go g3, king g2, and then rook h1, and it's going to be checkmate. So very important for me to spot that. So rook a7 is defending this rook. He went now rook e1. I found this really nice idea of b5, so I started my counterattack, and this was the best move. So this was a really important idea for me to spot. And after takes, I have this nice in-between move a4 to get my pawn one step further. So he moved his queen, I took the pawn. He went rook e3 because he wanted to start attacking me, and I didn't care. I just went b4. He attacked me, and here I spent like a little bit of time thinking, should I go king f8 or should I go h5? But I didn't like that after king f8, I was a bit worried that he would have queen e6 and start to have some checks, and I thought maybe here I have queen d7, but I wasn't sure about this, so I decided to go h5 instead. Now, of course, the only problem is that he has g4, so this becomes a bit sharp. But I realized that I can go a3 and make sure that this is a passed pawn. And now after takes, I can just simply go g5 and completely block off his rooks. He would rather not have this pawn. That would be way better for him. But with this pawn, I'm able to use his own pawn as a blockade for my king. So I now felt quite confident. I didn't really know how he was going to progress. And here he went c3, which I spent a little bit of time thinking. I mean, I was really in this game trying to play way faster, and I did. Like, this is move 32, and I have 10 minutes to go, which is better than what I typically have at move 32, because I get extra time in move 40. So I was really trying to play faster this game, but here I made a mistake. I didn't take. I didn't take because I saw that he then has this move. And then after takes, rook takes, queen takes. The point is that if takes, then the rook is hanging. Yeah, I just struggled with evaluate this completely. I mean, it looks really good. Queen check, king back. But yeah, I just got a bit worried that if we traded rooks, this would be a drawn endgame because I would lose this pawn. But yeah, apparently I have this move rook e7, which I didn't see, which is a winning move because I'm going to end up being 2 pawns up. But yeah, I didn't see that. So instead I just went queen e5 because now I also thought that I have this idea of going rook here, and I'm stopping this queen from entering and annoying my king. And here I was expecting him to go king g2 to start activating his rook, but he went d4 now, and now I was very happy because I was able to take this pawn without taking this one and control this whole diagonal and make his king super weak. So he had to go king g1, and now after rook b7, I knew I was winning because there's no way of stopping my rook from coming in. His king is just too weak. So ironically, my king was the one that he was playing against the whole game, but then it was his king that ended up being so weak. And here, after rook takes b3, my opponent actually resigned on move 36, because after takes, I will just go a2, and I will just promote check queen. There's no way of preventing that. Or I can even just go rook b7, and the best thing he can do is to sacrifice his queen. I mean, this is completely winning, because otherwise it's going to be checkmate, or I'm going to win the rook. So yeah, this was a great game. I'm very happy. I won this game, and I got 4 points for now out of 8. And that's really important, because actually to be able to play the section that I'm playing next year, if I don't have 2100 rating, which I hope I have next year, I can actually already play, because this year I made 4 points. So that's a rule they have, that to play this section of the tournament of the Swedish Championship, you either have to have 2100 FIDE rating, or last year you had to get at least 4 points. So now I've secured a spot in next year's Swedish Championship, which is very important. Tomorrow I'm playing my final game of the tournament at 10 a.m. CEST. And if I win, I'll end up winning like 10 points of rating in this tournament. If I draw, I'll end up winning like a point or something. And if I lose, I'll end up losing a few points of rating. So this tournament has already been at least decent, not incredible, not terrible, but it's been a great practice for me to play against so many players of my level. And I've taken 4 out of 8 against players of my level, you know. Some are higher rated, some have been a little bit lower rated. But it's nice to know that I deserve the rating I have, at least. So that has been really nice. So thank you so much for watching today's recap. Quickly before I go, just want to mention that the Naroditsky Memorial is happening right now in Charlotte in the US. And it's a beautiful tournament that the Charlotte Chess Club is organizing to help support the Daniel Naroditsky Foundation, and also just, you know, in memory of Daniel Naroditsky, who is very dearly missed. So I really wish that I could have been there, but the dates weren't so good for me. But lots of other creators are there, lots of other top chess players are there, and you should be watching and following the tournament there, and also support the Charlotte Chess Foundation if you can, because it really helps them to be able to grow the Daniel Naroditsky Foundation. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I'll put a link in the description so that you're able to follow it. But they're doing a creator tournament July 5th, which is going to be really exciting, that it's going to be live streamed. So you should definitely be there and watch it. Thank you so much once again for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.